Now, have you had this yet?
I still haven't had it.
You still haven't had it.
I still haven't had it.
You're going to get her reaction of this great red wine.
I've smelt it. I will admit to that, full disclosure. I have smelt it, but I haven't actually had it.
So before we talk about it, let's let you enjoy it and then give me your thoughts.
Okay. Oh, very tasty. And you know what? It smells different than how it tastes. And so the interesting thing is the bouquet, I get a lot of the Syrah. And we'll talk about that in a second in the other blend that's in there, but I get a lot of Syrah in that. When you taste it, it's very jammy. It's got to be the combo of two things, I think, that's making it that way. And then the Syrah is nice because it kind of cuts through with a little pepperiness, tones it down, but those other two things together are very jammy. Right. Interesting. Right. One of them is jammy, but it's interesting. So
okay, so this is a 2015 Primal Roots, and the great thing about this is that I've gotten this for $7 a bottle. I mean, usually it's around $10 a bottle. This does not taste like a $7 or $10 bottle.
No, not at all. No. Yeah, no. I mean, you would not ever peg it. I mean, I would say, you know, $19 probably, maybe more, depending on where you're at. If you ordered in a restaurant, if you ordered this in a restaurant and you had this as their house wine, you would be blown away by how good it is. So
now we've got goat cheese and we've got salmon, so we're going to pair it with them just for you. But I'm going to tell you this right now. This is based off my palate. I have not had anything bad with this, and I don't know if it's just because of the combination. And again, the combination, from what we can tell, based on what the tasting notes are, it's a little different from what's on the bottle.
Yes.
So it's 49% Merlot, 42% Syrah, and then it says it's 7% Zinfandel.
Now, does that add up to 100?
It does. Well, pretty close.
Did you calculate it?
Or maybe it's 9%. So that 9% rather than 7. So that would have been it. But on the bottle it says Petite Syrah, and what's really fascinating is that I don't know what the percentage is of this. You smelt that.
Well, yeah, I could tell Petite Syrah, and I said, well, it doesn't have Petite Syrah in it, so I don't know why I'm smelling it, but it's got to be the Syrah, because there's a definite different fragrance that you get from this, and then when you taste it, it's got this super jamminess, even though it's only 10% Zin. Honestly, I think it's because it's got the Merlot, which Merlot is such a great blending wine. That's why they use it in Bordeaux all the time, because it kind of cuts through things and it kind of morphs almost into the other flavors. So I think the Merlot combined with the Zin is what's making that super jammy, but then you can smell the Syrah for sure. And I got to admit, when I first told you about this, I said, oh, this is a Zinfandel blend. And to be honest with you, I was kind of shocked once I began looking at it, going like, it's only 7 to 9% or 10% of Zinfandel, yet that Zin is pretty strong. And I think what you're saying is right, though. Well, yeah, and it's almost like depending on how you're smelling it, like if you swirl it, you get more of the Syrah. If you just pick it up, I do get the Zin. Yeah, it's interesting. And you know us, we've got to go avant-garde with this pairing thing. So we paired it with some salmon, because we love to pair red wine with salmon, and we've never tried it with salmon before, right? So let's try it with the salmon. I'm so excited, because I think it'll be really good. And when we do salmon, we like to put lemon and capers on it. Of course, eggs are always good too. I think capers are a must. Lemon's a must. But just briny capers goes well with everything.
That salmon's fabulous.
Oh, no, that's interesting. Now, see, that definitely brings out much more of the Zin and the caramel and the fruity and the jammy and the Merlot, even the little chocolatey there, because of the brininess and the salmon.
Well, it's good.
I like it with that. That's really good.
And again, you're going to get this for about $10 a bottle. It doesn't have those heavy tannins. It's smooth.
Very smooth. Velvety, very velvety.
Yeah, along with that jamminess, yet at the same time too, you get you get the Syrah taste. So
yeah, no, it's a nice blend, a very nice blend that these people did, and I could see this with a roast chicken dinner, of course. That'd be delicious.
I've had this with steak, though. I've had it with steak.
I was going to say, definitely
Excellent.
steak, even a roast pork loin, that would be fabulous. But I could also see it going with like some chicken satay or, you know, some skewers on the grill, like with that smoky grill flavor, I think would pair really well with it. I think that'd be nice too.
I think also if you're a white wine drinker and you want to test reds and you're a little leery of it, this is a great first choice.
Definitely.
It's a blend, so you get a lot of good things in there. So it's not just the, you know, it's not that cab that could be gritty and dirty for you, or that Pinot that just seems a little light and you don't get it. You don't get a lot from it. This, you just get so much of it. So,
but I just had it with the goat cheese.
Excellent.
That's so good.
And you put the chives on top of it.
The goat cheese, well, I think goat cheese, if you just have plain goat cheese and just snip some chives, some fresh over it, it's a nice fresh addition of herbs, especially if you don't have a lot of time. And it looks so great on its own. I mean, it's like white and green. You can't go wrong with that. And I love how the goat cheese pairs with that. The goat cheese really springs to life. Like you get that whole tanginess of the goat cheese that you really love, that you get goat cheese for. That's delicious with this. It's almost like you're having like a high-end peanut butter and jelly sandwich with the goat cheese and this wine. That's like a high-end peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I'm not a peanut butter and jelly sandwich fan, but this kind of peanut butter and jelly I could get used to. Dessert, to me, is cheese. And so this with the goat cheese and that for dessert, I mean, what a phenomenal dessert. That would totally surprise your guests. And especially if you've got people that are on, you know, maybe a gluten-free diet, an Atkins diet, or the new keto diet. Perfect dessert for them. Wine and some goat cheese. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, that's the perfect blend. I love it. It's actually better than I thought it was going to be, because I didn't want to have my expectations too high, because you know how that goes, and then it's like, oh, not good. But this is actually better than I thought it was going to be. I really enjoy it. I can see how you say it goes with everything. It's a good blend. It's one of those that you can serve it, and people are going to be blown away. They're not going to know that you only spent $7, $8, $9 possibly, you know, for it. Pairs well with everything. I love it.
Cool.
Cheers.
Primal Roots. Put the S on the end. It's Primal Roots.